Ladies and gentlemen, it's nice, a real nice way for Wales Certified to be talking to the Angels. And by talking to the Angels, I'm talking to the head coach over at St. Joseph's Academy, Maureen McVey, ladies and gentlemen. And next to her, across from her, is her player, another Angel, Caroline Chire. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right, man. All right. But these are two Angels, ladies and gentlemen, and just a storied way at St. Joseph Academy. People in the know just call it SJA, and but the real deal is that the school we're talking to a scholar champion, and Maureen McVey is soccer. It's girls soccer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I want you to know that I know that you know. You're Wales Certified Hall of Fame, Maureen. You got, a special section all to you and to your lovely program that you have developed from almost scratch at St. Joseph's Academy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Right on, Irish. Right on. I mean, that's
right on.
Yeah. So, Maureen, it's another. You walk in history, and the whole idea is that this is the inaugural season for the St. Louis High School Champions League, and you're in the Final Four. So how was that journey?
Well, it was great. First of all, we think it's a great thing for St. Louis, and we think it's a great thing for women's soccer. It helps put us on the map, and that they're looking at 16 of the better teams in St. Louis to come together during the season and play a little tournament within a tournament. Is pretty cool. So we did make it out of our pool. We had to win last night. It was a must-win game for us. We won against Eureka 3-0. We were tied 0-0 at half. That's all Eureka had to do was tie to advance. So we told our girls before the game that we definitely needed a win to advance. And the point system, I like the point system. I use that point system when I have my tournaments here at St. Joe. My girls didn't really care for it. They're like, I said, hey, it's all about scoring goals and keeping other teams from scoring goals, and those are points that you get.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
Actually, we went into last night's game. We were third in points. So Ladue had 10, and then Eureka had, what did they have, Carol? Yeah, I don't know what, but we were actually third going into last night.
Wow.
So we knew we had to win. So we had 2 wins and a tie, and that's got us through into the semifinal game on Saturday.
Man, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to hear that talk. Yeah, I'm surely it was very inspirational. Caroline, how about it that you've heard a lot of talk, you've been with players up and all. Do you have a particular rah-rah type of way, or do you just are so confident in your skill set that you practice and practice that you just say, hey, just let it be, baby, come on?
I would say that, yeah, I definitely practice a lot, but I think soccer's such a team sport, so I would say that I wouldn't have as much of an impact if my teammates weren't there surrounding me to make me better and a better teammate too.
Well, that's going to play you well. Always talk good about your teammates. That's yeah. And Caroline, you have a particular pathway that you've already been able to be granted. What is it at St. Joe that you are just going to miss, and you want to make your imprint, that you want people to know your name, Shire?
I would say something that at St. Joe that I think has a huge impact, and it's something that I would miss. I would say it's the culture of our team overall. I think it's been an honor being able to be on the varsity team for since I was a freshman, and it's really helped me grow not only as a player but also as a person. So I think that not only the competitiveness with like our coaches push us the right way to make us better, but also we all work to make each other better, and we're always best friends every season. I feel like we get closer every year.
Yeah. So when you got a big alumni, so when you meet up with another Angel, what year did you graduate? And they know your stats and everything. Maureen, did you get there almost in the beginning of St. Joe, or was there already established culture, tradition to
Yeah,
win?
there was. I've been here at St. Joe. This is my 36th year. I'm actually retiring from both soccer and St. Joe at the end of May. Um, so I started out at Ursuline Academy. I coached their soccer team for a couple years, and then I got the job at St. Joe as a part-time teacher back in 1989. But I was coaching at Incarnate Work, so I was actually the coach at Incarnate for a couple years, and then Steve Shadd was here as the coach. I believe he won in 90 and 92 state championships with St. Joseph's Academy, and then he left to go be a graduate student at Michigan State and help their soccer program. So
Wow.
that's when I took over.
Wow.
And that was probably in 1994, 1995.
Did you have anything to do with the wearing the green, or did it always have it?
No, I had to go get green because I had red from Ursuline and red from Incarnate. So yeah, I had to stock up on some green items.
Right.
I could probably have a garage sale of nothing but St. Joe clothes in
Oh,
my driveway.
yeah. And under full disclosure, where did you graduate from?
I graduated from Riverview Gardens High School.
Wow, a Ram. Oh, man.
Yes, we actually won the state championship my senior year. That was the first year we got a soccer team, 1979.
Holy cow.
We finally got a girls soccer team my senior year, and we beat Pattonville in the state championship game, and I scored the goal.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
the girls that were in Pattonville at the time were the Jan and Joan Gettema.
Wow. What about Eugene Baker, your coach?
No, it was not Gene Baker. He may have been with the boys.
Okay.
I can't
Yeah.
remember who. I know.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. Did you live in one of those nice houses overlooking the Mississippi?
We did, but then we actually lived on Riverview Drive. We actually lived across from the Mississippi River.
Wow.
As my brother and sisters got older, we would have had to have gone to a city school like Roosevelt or something.
Yeah.
So our parents moved us up into the county, and that's why we went to Riverview Gardens. We actually lived directly right across the street from Riverview Gardens High School.
Wow. So Caroline, I apologize. You're learning some history here of your coach. That did you already know that, or did you just discover it?
Yeah, no, I actually did not know that. So this is the first time hearing of it.
And actually, when I went to, people always say, where did you play college ball? And when I say the University of Missouri St. Louis, they just kind of look at you. But back then, in 1983, 84, we were one of the top teams in the nation.
Absolutely.
We were actually in the Final Four 2 years, and we were one of the only teams to beat North Carolina back then. There hasn't been too many teams that have beaten North Carolina. There has been recently, but Not back in the day.
No,
So,
no, not at all. Ruth Harker is very proud of that.
Yeah, Ruth Harker was on the team, the Kelly sisters, Peggy Keogh, Karen Lombardo. We were like the team to beat.
Oh, absolutely. So
Also was.
anybody goes to the Lombardo's restaurant out by the airport, you say, "Hey, Karen, I remember seeing you play."
Yep. Yep.
Wow, what a prodigy. So this whole idea of your strategy, because I'm working off of that. The game is played with your mind and to your feet, but you got to go through the heart to get there. What is your philosophy from as a player and then as a coach these years?
I guess you would say that. I mean, I've always said this from day one. You're only as good as the players you have. And the kids that come to St. Joe to play soccer here, you know, they've been dreaming of coming to St. Joe since they were little kids. I'm sure
Wow.
Caroline, when she was in third, fourth grade, she was telling her mom and dad that she wants to come to St. Joe and she wants to play soccer for St. Joe. It's just a tradition here, and we put out very competitive teams each year. And these kids that come out and try out for our teams, I mean, they're in great shape at tryouts. They know what the expectations are in order to be on one of our teams. And it's just a culture of, you know, we're a great athletic school as well as a great academic school.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in that scholar champion, and that really plays out. So, Caroline, when you put on the green, is there in your bio and everything is talk about your attacking style? That the first thing you are thinking about is going to the goal, scoring the goal, or setting up a great assist. How did you develop that? Was it natural to you, or did you say, "Hey, man, when I get the ball, this is what's going to happen"?
I would say that I've always been an attacking-minded player. I've always played forward or played attacking midfield. But I would say whenever I came to St. Joe, starting freshman year, that was always our mindset. We always have an attacking mindset. When we get the ball, we go straight to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
We want to score goals. We pride ourselves in being good at scoring goals and being a good attacking and defensive team. But I would say my freshman year, yeah, I was always told once you get the ball, go to the goal. You either make a pass forward or you try to beat your player 1v1. And especially since I play on the wing, it's a lot of 1v1s and a lot of assists and goals if I have the angle. So yeah, I would say that we focus a lot on scoring goals, and we focus on scoring goals as a team. We don't really care about our individual stats or who has the most goals or who has the most assists. We care more about scoring goals as a team.
Yeah.
And I would say, yeah, we all really try to score as many goals as we can.
Right.
And I'll just add to that, as far as Caroline being an attacking offensive player. I mean, she's heard it once from me. She's heard it a million times. I always say, take her, which means take her on. You know, she's got the opening whistle at the Eureka game last night. She got the ball and she probably zigzagged in and out of 3 to 4 defenders and got a shot on goal. And I mean, we thought it was in. So, I mean, we would have been up 1-0 in the first 30 seconds. So she's getting better at that. She's getting more positive and she's feeling more comfortable. And she's going to have to do that if she's going to play at the top of collegiate level. So we are finding, she'll hear from me all the time because I'm real close to her on those sidelines. She's on the field. And I'm like, take her, like, because that's the confidence I have.
Yeah.
And she does, but she also knows what to do with the ball when she beats that girl. Am I at the angle where I can shoot, or am I dishing this ball right across the box? And she did that a couple times last night. She keeps the defense thinking, and that's what we like.
Yeah. Did you learn that from Ken Hudson by any chance?
Me?
Yeah.
I played for Kenny Hudson, yeah. Yeah, and that's the way we played back in the day in collegiate. I mean, that's my. I've always had that philosophy. You know, we're a very high pressure team. And I always tell my girls, high school soccer is a lot different than club soccer. You know, club soccer, they have the best of the best on that team, so they're fortunate that they can move that ball around and But at high school, we're like, no, we go straight to the goal. We high pressure that defense, and we keep this team on their heels for 80 minutes.
There you go. And now the question that I've been burning since you granted me the interview is to say, how about it is when you get the ball, Caroline, do you like to, get open and then get the ball, or do you like to go in there, get the ball and go, or, run onto the ball? How do you, what's your best? If you had the magic wand to be able to do one or three, what would you do?
I would say I definitely like to switch it up because, like McVey said, I like to keep the defense thinking. I don't like to do the same thing every time. And yeah, I do definitely have an attacking mind, but also I will get back on defense and win the pressure. And yeah, if I win the pressure, then I'll go straight to the goal. But a lot of our defenders are really good at playing through balls in behind, so I like to run onto those balls and use my speed.
Yeah.
But then I also sometimes will pull wide and use my skill and receive the ball and try to beat one or two defenders. So
right.
I would say I try to switch it up and not do the same thing every time, so I can keep the defenders on their feet.
There you go. Well said, and that's why you're well certified, Caroline. I mean, you're very impressive. Now,
thank you.
Yeah, I gotta ask you, Maureen, that whole story of there is a difference between players who score goals and goal scorers. Have you been blessed with both, or what do you?
Yes, I've been blessed with both. Actually, you either know how to. I mean, I've got players that they can't put that ball in from 6 yards out. And some players, they just have a knack for the goal. One of my assistants, Shelly Schrader, Shelly Gruska, who played for me back in the day, she was so calm and collective around the goal that, we do a lot of power versus placements, and placement's the way to go in soccer. And Caroline will be the first one to tell you. I mean, she's hit some gorgeous goals this year, but she's also blown some over the top from 6 yards out, and it just happens. But yeah, I've been very fortunate with some great goal scorers, and like I said, there's a difference between girls that score goals and goal scorers, and Caroline is definitely a goal scorer.
Yeah, and correct me if
you can see that if we're in a pinch or we're behind, I don't think twice about telling her to take the game in her own hands.
There you go. And that means a lot that you don't do that to anybody and everybody.
And I've told her out many times, and between her and I, well, now I guess other people are going to know, but I've said, Caroline, I don't care. Don't pass the ball. You take them on. You put the ball in the net.
Yeah, I got goosebumps, Coach. That's brilliant. And correct me if my eyes were deceiving me, but you're shooting with both feet, Caroline.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
She actually scored one the other day. It was a left-footed shot, and it bent right into the corner. It was actually a gorgeous shot. But we do work on that, and I'm sure she works on that, but you cannot get a girl to shoot with her left foot. I mean, maybe guys are different, but we practice that almost every day. We're shooting with their left and shooting with their right, and they'll get in the game, and they're not going to shoot until they push that ball over and get it on their right foot. Now, every once in a while, they might shoot with their left, but that gives them the encouragement to shoot more when they're scoring goals like that with their left feet.
That's right. Well, you're coming up to, can you grant me less than 10 minutes?
Caroline's got to be back in class in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, and then
I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5.
Great. Yep.
Okay, here it goes. It's that, Caroline, say whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for. This is your time.
Wait, can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah, I have to do it all the time. This is your chance. Whatever you want to say, Caroline, to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for.
Okay, I would say definitely, yeah, I would say definitely a big thank you to all my coaches that I've had growing up, my club coaches, my high school coaches. I've had a lot of different coaches growing up. I've been on a couple different teams, and they've all had a key role in my soccer career and building myself as not only a player but also a person. So I would say big thanks to them. And obviously, my parents, they've traveled many, many weekends with me out of town for tournaments, league games, college visits, and yeah, they're the most supportive people, and I couldn't have done it all without them. And then my brothers
Yeah.
are also have been a real big key role in my soccer
Tell them what
career.
your brothers do.
Yeah, my youngest brother Max, they both go to SLU, but my youngest brother Max is a freshman, and he plays for the St. Louis City Academy team. And my brother Jack is a junior, and he plays for the St. Louis Scott Gallagher MLS Next team. So they're both very good soccer players, and they've helped me they keep me competitive. They give me my competitive edge. So I would say I owe a lot of it to them as well. And then I live on a street with like 20 neighbors, and we all play soccer, and I've grown up playing backyard soccer my whole life. It's so much fun, and it that also keeps us very competitive. We're very competitive with each other, and we don't like to lose. So, yeah, I would say big thanks to all of those people.
Wow.
I'll just add real quickly that I mean it's the biggest thank you that Caroline can give to her parents, her coaches, her friends, her neighbors is to stay home in St. Louis and decide to play collegiate soccer so we can all go.
Right on, right on. Maureen, can you close this out? What would you like to say to who you want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for?
Well, I just probably just thank the St. Joe community, thank the St. Joe administration for just believing in what I can do with the soccer program here, and I've made so many good friends. Um, coming through St. Joseph's Academy, former soccer players. Like I said, some of my former soccer players or my assistant coaches to this day, right now. And we're good friends. We go out and, we go to dinner, we go out and have a good time. So it's just the St. Joe community. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime chance to be able to be at a school like this for that many years and still love what you're doing. I loved every minute of being at St. Joseph's Academy. It's just time to go.
Yeah, I would have to add to that. The teachers and all the students here are all so supportive. Like, if they see an article came out or if they see you beat a team last night, like, everyone makes time to, like, tell you congrats and support you. And, yeah, it's a really great environment, and I'm so happy and grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, and they actually just today, Caroline's up for Athlete of the Week through, what is it, SI? Athlete of the Week. So one of our teachers put it out to the whole St. Joe community and said, you got to vote for Caroline. You got to vote. You can vote as many times as you can. So when we sent it out to our parents and all that and said, hey, Caroline's up, and we've done it for her. We've done it for our swimmers. We've done it for basketball players. So our whole community gets behind our athletes when they deserve to win an award, and they do everything they can to help her get that award.
There you go. I got goosebumps. I'm speechless in the company of angels.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Kevin. They're not always angel.
Way to go, Irish. Way to go. All right, then. So I just want to say thank yous all again and to say that I'm going to download it to this number. And
okay, that sounds great.
Okay, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, you're wonderful. And you are whale certified, and this has been whale certified. And you too can be whale certified. See you, angels.